Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. Well, you know what? We've gone through some strange times, and Maria Fudas, who is a transformational life coach, an author, a speaker, and a friend of mine, wrote me and said, you know what? We should be looking at this pandemic through a far more positive lens, that it has actually been a wonderful opportunity for us to really analyze ourselves in a very different way. And so I wanted to chat with her and find out, you know, where's she coming from and why she thinks this pandemic has actually been an opportunity to see things more positively. So Maria, thanks for joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you doing?
Excellent. So tell me, what is your attitude toward, we've got to think more positively about the pandemic?
Yeah, I find this is great. At times when there's change, when there's challenges, is the times that we could find to learn and grow from, right? So this pandemic for a lot of people clearly has been overwhelming for some people. It's been definitely a change in pace, the way we're living. And instead of having fear and looking at things negatively, this is the time to learn and grow and to get something positive out of it. First of all, Einstein said, ego equals one up over knowledge. And ego, as you know from my book and my teachings, ego is fear, right? Ego equals fear. So the less knowledge you have, the more fear you have. So basically get more knowledge, learn, get yourself empowered. Whether it's about the pandemic or whether it's about whatever is going on now with all the crazy, the protests and everything going on as well. Get knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the less fear you have. There's no reason to be fearful of anything. So basically it's about knowledge. Get the knowledge, empower yourself, and we're all empowered to do something. So none of us are powerless.
Get the knowledge about what? About the pandemic or about the riots? I think that some people have been obsessed with the news and have been watching way too much CNN and CNBC and Fox and CTV and CBC and are just like inundated with news about pandemic and deaths and infections, and then all of a sudden about riots and looting and protests.
Exactly, and this riots, that's why I brought it up, because it's kind of overwhelming right now. You can't move without actually seeing it in the news. So you're right. I mean, learn what you need to do. So we know, okay, we could wear masks. We have to sanitize our hands, for example, when we're talking about the pandemic. We know what we need to do. Keep your distance from people. So empower yourself. These are things you can do. So having fear and living from the outside fear and fear-based emotions and thoughts really doesn't help you, right? So learn what you need to do, empower yourself, and then do it. So whether it's with also with the riots, learn what can you do? What can you do? Be part of the change, be part of the solution, and not part of the problem, first of all, and that's how you get empowered. So get yourself empowered to do what you can do, and then kind of you've got to let go of what you can't control, right? But there's a lot of things that are in our hands. We are empowered, so you don't have to listen to the news all the time. What's going to change? Usually not. If you hear the headlines, you'll be able to see what you need to do, what you don't need to do. And I'm glad you kind of mentioned the riots. We mentioned the riots as well, and the pandemic. This is a great time to make us realize how we're all united, we're intertwined and connected. People have forgotten that. And the virus, if anything, teaches you that, right?
How does the virus teach us that? Here we are staying at home, socially distant, not being able to see our friends and family. How does the virus teach us that we're interconnected?
First of all, one person has the virus, the whole world has the virus, correct? So, so if one person has the virus, everybody has the virus. This is how we're all interconnected. Whether people recognize it or whether they have the capability to rationalize or understand it, we are all connected. We are all energetic forces, and we're all connected by an invisible line, by an invisible force, the divine, whether you call it the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, but there's an invisible, energetic, powerful force that connects all of us, and we are all connected. So, and the virus teaches us that, because we know that if one person has it in the whole world has it, right? So there's no way to really eradicate that.
Okay, so if I get knowledge and so therefore are less fearful, and I realize that we're all connected, what do I do?
Yes.
What's the benefit of that?
And the benefit of that is you should become more compassionate, you should become more empathetic, and treat others the way you want to be treated, right? And love yourself the way you love others, whether we talk about the pandemic or whether we talk about the riots. We're all one, we're all connected, we're all one people. So it's important that we treat everybody the way we want to be treated and the way we love ourselves, because we are all connected. We're all interconnected. We need each other. And during the pandemic times, we were kind of right in the middle of that, to make us realize, what we call the essential workers. A lot of these people, most of these essential workers make minimum wage. And many, oftentimes you would probably pass by these workers and you wouldn't even notice them, right? Or they'd be invisible in your eyes, or not your eyes, but just in general, and people, whether it's the cashiers, we're talking about the cashiers, the drivers, the people delivering packages. They're kind of invisible to a lot of people. So this is the time to recognize that these people were always essential. For example, it's not like they became essential now, right? It's just bringing it to light now. So remember take these lessons from here to remember that everybody's essential, to step back a little bit and recognize that we're all essentials. And it's not, as we've come to see, it's not the big stars, the athletes, or the mega billionaires that have been essential during this crisis, because you know what? If you don't have food on the table, you're not going to be able to survive. If you don't have the delivery, you're not going to be able to survive. And who brings that to our tables? It's the farmers. It's those people that oftentimes we don't even know exist, because everything is so easily accessible to us. So this is the time to kind of sit back and go to the basics and recognize how important things are, and who is important, that we're all intertwined, all interconnected, and that it's important that we realize that not only now, but going forth, we bring that message going forth in our lives as well.
We're chatting tonight with Maria Fudas, an author, a life coach, a transformational life coach, and a very special person, about taking a far more positive attitude about the pandemic. Stay with us. We're going to have a short break for some messages, and we'll come back with Maria in just a minute. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're chatting tonight with Maria Fudas, who is a transformational life coach, an author, a speaker, and a spectacular human being that I've had the chance to meet on several occasions. She just exudes positive energy, and what she wants to talk about is how we should be thinking about the pandemic from a far more positive standpoint. Maria, let me ask you a question. I've had a couple of people say that this is almost like Mother Nature told us all to go to our rooms and take a time out. And you made the comment to me that people got to appreciate other people and love and things more than materialistic attitudes. Do you think that people are actually sort of taking the time to realize, what's more important in life?
Yeah, I hope so. And I do believe that most of the time, most people actually, they have no choice but to kind of recognize, and if they aren't, they should. This is what they should be focusing on. And you're right. I'm a firm believer that there's no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. And if you look back, we're such a consumer-based economy, right? And what happens is, being such a consumer-based economy, yes, we're kind of swallowing up our earth. And so it maybe perhaps the universe, God, whatever you want to, maybe it is a way of bouncing us back, bringing us back, taking a step back and saying, hey, just relax a little bit. Everybody stay home, so nature could kind of reboot itself, right?
Well,
so the animals can come out.
It's fascinating that, the smog in Shanghai and Beijing and Los Angeles are down dramatically, that there's fish that are returning to the canals of Venice. So, we've cleaned up some of the challenges that daily commutes and garbage and materialistic living have contributed to our world. And I think people realize the importance and power of parks and nature because we've been needing to get out of our homes and go somewhere and do something. And then also, health, having a good immune system. Clearly that's got to be the number one defense against any kind of a virus. And then, family and friends. And so I do think that those materialistic things that we may have desired so much in the past are far less important today. And maybe this pandemic is a way of teaching us that and reminding us of that.
Yes, and that's exactly it. And that's if you change your perspective and you do focus on that, that's the thing though, right? Like you said before, hopefully most people, instead of being fearful and acting out of the ego and the fear, look back and kind of self-evaluate, connect with themselves, connect with other people, connect with nature, like you said, connect with what's around them, connect with other people, learn to become more empathetic, kind, and going back to the basics, health, family, right? And nature, connecting with nature, recognizing that everything around you is so beautiful. I know we all, we live in this, in North America especially, we know we live this consumer-based economy, and sure, we all fall into that trap, but this has allowed even myself to kind of sit back and say, you know what, I don't really need to go shopping. I don't need to go to Winners today, you know what I mean? It's great. And because we're so caught up on that, we're so caught up in that environment and that kind of hustle. So if people take, and that's what I wanted to urge people, take a step back, go back to the basics, recognize that first of all, that we are all connected, treat everybody kindly, especially with what we're seeing lately. It's powerful, and recognizing that a lot of people don't recognize that we're all one, right? And whether you recognize it or not, it's a fact, right? Whether you're capable of recognizing it or not, and practice gratitude. Be grateful. Be grateful for what you have, your health, a roof over your head, food. There's so many people that are lined up in food banks that most of us take for granted. I hear some people say, oh, I can't, my work, my business, I'm going to be losing some money. I can't go back to the business. And I tell them, be grateful that you're able to stay home. You're able to put food on your table. Sure, your economics might not be bad, but maybe you have a credit card. Maybe you have something. You have a credit line. I'm not saying, of course, people's economies have gone down, but the fact that you're even able to do that, find something, even minuscule, to hold on to be grateful for, because gratitude is what changes everything around. And I was going to say, Brian, also, it's important that we change our perspective, change how we think, because our thoughts is everything, right? What we think becomes our words, it becomes what we speak. And the way we speak then becomes our actions, and our actions become our character, our personality, who we are. And of course, our character then becomes our destiny. It becomes who we will become.
Okay,
so
okay, hold it. Slow down. So let's go through this equation again. I'm a finance mathematical guy.
Yes.
So you're saying our thoughts become our actions.
Of course. Because
and
our
thoughts actions become our reality?
No, our thoughts first become our words, right? Our thoughts become what we say.
Thoughts become our words.
What we're thinking, we talk about, and people don't recognize what they're saying most of the time.
Okay, so our thoughts become our words become our actions.
And then our actions becomes our character, becomes our personality, who we are.
Our actions become our character, and then our character becomes our
destiny.
Our destiny.
Because who we are.
Thoughts become our words become our actions become our character and personality, and our character and personality become our destiny.
That forms who we will become.
We got to control our thoughts.
Our thoughts, it's all about that. And I talk about that in my book. I'm not sure if you read it or not, but I talk about that in my book. And it's all about the thoughts. It's all about having control of your thoughts, because even Buddha said, what you think you become. And that's why
you become.
What you think you become. Simple as that. And if you look back, we're not going to go perhaps into that, but most of the spiritual masters talk about this. What you think you become. It's your thoughts are so important because what you focus on is what you create, really. What you focus is what you manifest. So if you're focusing on something negative, seek and you shall find, basically. If you seek for something negative, you will find something negative. If I do a little test for you right now, if you look around your room and look for something, I don't know, something red.
Okay.
You can find. You're going to find things that are red. And I bet you most people, if they do this exercise, they're going to look around, and even things that are maybe a little orangey or a little brown, they're going to put those all in the red, and they're going to say, well, this is kind of red. And if there's nothing red, they're going to find something that looks a little bit red. So the way this works is when you're looking for something, even if it's not there, you're going to find it. So change your focus. Okay. Look for something positive, and you'll always find something positive.
Okay. Go ahead.
And live as if, and we could carry this forward after, live as if there's miracles all around you, and everything's a miracle. And Einstein even said this.
Live as if there's miracles all around us.
Yes. And that everything's a miracle.
Okay. So I love your attitude. No question. Fantastic. But, supposedly mental health issues are, rampant right now. Addiction is rampant. I interviewed someone from a addiction center. She said their demand was up 500%. She said that the LCBO, volumes going through the roof because people are drinking, that alcoholism is having a comeback, that domestic abuse is a big issue, that the first wave was this health disaster. The second wave was the economic disaster. The third wave is a mental health disaster. Yes. All of that all those facts say that people are having a great deal of difficulty dealing with, number one, the fact they could get infected. Number two, that they're staying at home. Number three, that they have either lost their job or could lose their job or could go bankrupt. And then finally, and probably most importantly, that they're having mental health issues about it all.
And I agree with you. It is a big problem. And I do urge, like you said, there's a lot of health, there's a lot of mental health programs out there. I urge everybody that has any issues at home to reach out. And you know what? I send an invitation. If anybody needs any help, they can send me a message through my website or through my social media platforms. No charge if they have a question. I'm not saying a whole session, but if they have a question, something that's bothering me, send me a message and I will be very happy to just reply and to help anybody that's in need. You know, there's help everywhere, so take advantage of it. So anybody that's out there that needs, even if it's just like a simple little question that they may have, it might be a different perspective that I could put in their minds to kind of help them. But in a different, there's a couple of things that I would urge people to do. I was talking about gratitude because, you know, gratitude is so powerful, and it seems it's very easy. It's such a powerful tool. I mean, it's not that easy. You have to work on it, but it's such a powerful tool because when you're grateful, when you're grateful, you can't feel angry, you can't feel resentment, and it's totally a fact. And you can try it, or I urge everybody to just try it. Every time you feel that life is out of your control, or that you're feeling fearful, or perhaps something, whether it's domestic or something is happening to you, that you're feeling sorry for yourself, or you feel a victim, just take a moment, take 3 deep breaths. And the way you would take 3 deep breaths is just close your eyes, in through your nose, take a deep breath. And my son learned this in engineering, so it's 4, 7, 8. So take a deep breath in for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it till 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release slowly to the level of 8. So do that at least 3 times. Slowly breathe in. And as you breathe in your power. Recognize that you're powerful. Exhale whatever fear-based thought you have in that moment. And you could do it through your nose and out through your mouth, because that will help you breathe deeper. And once you do that, then go focus into something that you're grateful for. And it doesn't matter how small it is. And you will see and you will find that perception doesn't mean your problems go away. It's just the way that you see the problems. It's the way you, the perspective that you have afterwards. So even if it's just that you have food on the table, recognize a lot of people don't have food on their table. And if you don't have food on your table, find something. Maybe it's your health at that point. Perhaps you have a loved one that's around you. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always something you could find. And if people say they can't find anything, it's because they're not looking hard enough. There's always something. So find that little thing. Most of us have a lot of things.
And when you do that, that's something you just think about, or do you meditate about it, or do you pray about it, or you journal it about it, or what?
You know, everybody could do whatever's more comfortable to them. Some people it's praying. Some people it's meditation. And some people it could just be journaling. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't have to be, there's no right and wrong way. It's just basically, you know, taking a step back. I would say take a deep breath and, you know, maybe just, you don't have to have your eyes closed. You know, if you want to have your eye closed, people, whether you call it meditation or prayer or whatever you want to call that, it just, you know, take a step back. It helps maybe to have your eyes closed and just to think for a second. And even if you can't find something in your conscious mind, I guarantee you that once you close your eyes and you shut everything off, your authentic self, your soul, your spirit within that's connected to the divine will find something to be grateful for. So you don't even have to know what it is. I guarantee you, if you close your eyes, shut everything off, take your deep breaths, shut the world off, you will find your authentic self within you. That's how you get the connection. You will find it will give you something to be grateful for. I guarantee you. And if somebody, I challenge you, if somebody actually can find something, send me a message.
Okay, so comment number 1 or lesson number 1 was control your thoughts, because your thoughts end up becoming your destiny. And number 2 is on a daily basis, think about something that you're grateful for. And then I guess number 3 is realize that we're all connected.
And that's a biggie one. Realize, and especially with what's going on now, realize we're all connected and we're all one. And, you know, and there's another thing too. A lot of people are lonely during this time. You mentioned before, you know, they get lonely and they're, you know, they're home alone. Some people don't have family. I'm fortunate enough to have my twins here, but some people don't have family. They're actually stuck at home alone. So if you're found yourself in that kind of situation, recognizing that we are connected, perhaps take a walk out in nature, like you said earlier, the parks, the walking. just take a walk out in nature. And I find I do that myself too. You know, I have a little dog, I'll give him a walk. And I just take a walk around and just notice, especially now when the buds come out in the trees and you can see the leaves opening up or the flowers popping up and they're still in buds. Recognize and see how the life is in there. Everything around you is alive. And sometimes, you know, the other day I was just walking and I heard tweet, 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 like a little bird chirping. And then I look up in the tree and the bird was just looking at me. And as soon as I noticed it, it flew away. Once you get connected, you will find that the universe is connected with you and that everything, you know, everything that's alive, animals, butterflies, birds, it's almost like they see you. You're not alone. So get that connection. If you can't get it in any other way and you're feeling lonely, do that exercise. Go outside and take a nature walk and mentally do that. And while you're doing that, I want you to sit there. And this is a tool you could use to get connected. Once you're there, I want you to sit there for a minute and say, I see God. I see the universe in this bird. I see it in this tree. I see it in these flowers. I see it in this butterfly. I see this dog or other people walking by. And this is how you will feel at a deeper level the connection, which is true, which is real. You will feel it at a more deeper level, because thinking anything else is actually an illusion. It's fear-based.
We're chatting with Maria Fudas, a transformational life coach and author and a speaker. And she's told us, number one, to every day have gratitude for something. Number two, to control our thoughts, because our thoughts become our words become our actions become our character, and our character becomes our destiny. And so we have to control our thoughts. And number three, we have to realize that everyone is connected and everything is connected. I think those are three good lessons that we should be mindful of. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're here with Maria Fudas, a transformational life coach, an author, a speaker, and a card reader. And she said what she would do is she would explain what a card reader is all about, how she reads whatever she reads, and read my card, and maybe even read your card. So Maria, what is a card reader?
Okay, so I know a lot of people don't know this about me. I am very intuitive. I come from a long line of intuitive healers and spiritual healers from my dad's side. So I'm not a psychic, and I'm not a medium. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just a clairaudient. And all that means is really I'm in touch with my intuition, and I have a good intuition, a clear knowing of what the universe is telling me. So what I do is I use the cards as a tool, really, to help me guide you or whoever needs guidance to what the messages the universe has for you at a particular time or regarding a particular issue. So really that's how I use it. I use it as a tool. And I have two decks here that I'm going to use. These are both from doing Virtual Behavior House, and they're angel cards. So basically the different archangels and angels, I only deal with good spirits and angels, and nothing else beyond that. And I use Hay House because my certification of assertiveness is through Hay House. And that's why I kind of like their products. So if you're ready, I was going to say, while I'm going to do a couple of cards for you, maybe I'll do 3 for you and 3 for our audience. So meanwhile, as I'm doing something for you, maybe have the audience of this moment ask a question, something that they want an answer to, or something that they're maybe afraid of, or they have a question to, just to kind of now have something in mind. And then the way it works is the universe will give a universal answer, and it will relate to whatever question that person. It doesn't matter how many people are out there, because they're angel cards. They're not specific to one little thing. It's a more universal message.
Okay, great.
Okay, you ready? So let's start with you, Brian.
Okay.
So think of something you want to know, something you want to clear. You don't have to tell me. So think of something you want to know. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Normally, I would have you pull a couple of cards. So I'm going to do 3 because I like Trinity. It's a nice number. Ooh, wow, and they all fell. So usually I'll take the cards that fell, which is funny. So let me see. There's 2 on the ground. Excuse me for a second. And I have 5 that fell. So there you go. Those are the ones I'm going to take. So first I'm going to take the 3 first ones. So past, present, future, usually how it goes. And you know what? I will put my glasses on because this is very small and I don't want to, I'll be able to see much better. Oops. So past. So basically the first one for you is, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So the key thing here for you, so this is what you need to do. All you need to do is follow the guidance. You're very intuitive is what I'm guided to tell you here now. You are very intuitive. You know what you need to do. You know the guidance. Just follow, go within yourself and trust that intuition. Trust it, because you're always right. It's always there. Don't think, oh no, this is it's just a voice. It's not a voice. The intuition, the guidance you get from within is your authentic self talking to you. That's the one that's connected with the divine.
Okay.
The other one where you are right now, again, it comes out to kind of the same thing. Brian, you're a very spiritual person, even though you don't put forth that. Right now it's telling me you're a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. And you do that every day in your show. So this is who you are. It's telling me what you are right now. Okay, and your answers will be on the last two cards that fell. But now this is pretty much going within yourself as well. And it's telling me, it kind of goes in all the same areas. And it's saying schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. So perhaps there's something else that you needed to learn, or was there some other schooling or something that you're doing right now, or you're thinking of doing? Is there?
Well, I'm doing a part-time doctorate in business right now. I haven't finished it. I'm about 3/4 of the way through my thesis, and I'm struggling to finish it. And so maybe that's saying I got to finish it.
And you got to finish it, definitely. And it's telling you right now, all you have to do. The angels, people don't recognize. The angels are a divine. It's just energy that's around us. Whether you call it angels, God, whatever you want to call it, the angels are around us at all times. So all you have to do is say, God, angels, whatever you want to call it, basically. Ask for their permission. Give them permission to come in. So they need permission. So please and thank you, basically. Give them permission right now. Say, help guide me as to, help guide me as to what I need to do, how to do it. And you will get the guidance. And the way you get the guidance is through your intuition. And you said before, prayer or meditation. So praying is basically saying, okay, I need some help, guide me, which is what they're telling you. They're going to guide you and help you. Now meditation, what people call meditation, is really just listening to your authentic self. So basically you have to shut up in order to hear what your authentic self, what your soul is telling you. So that's what meditation is listening. Prayer is talking. Meditation is a form of being quiet, quieting yourself, quieting your ego, quieting your mind so you can listen. So it's exactly what it is. The angels are telling you right now, they will guide you and help you with the process. You're going to finish the process. You need to finish this, and you will. Okay? Now, outcomes, I see two that those ones fell on the floor, so I had to pick them up. One, it says, you are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So perhaps, I'm not sure if there's something that you weren't sure about, something that you had a question about, that you weren't sure whether you should do it, shouldn't do it. And it's saying right now, the reason why you're confused or indecisive is because you don't have all the information. So it goes back to what we said earlier. Fear or ego is one over knowledge. Just get more knowledge.
Hold it a second. The first thing you drew was that my intuition is right, and I know where I'm going to go. I know my authentic self.
Yes.
That sounds completely inconsistent with what you've just drawn.
Yes, not really, because what the first one says is, as you honor and follow your guidance, prosperity is coming to you. So sometimes we don't always follow, unfortunately, we don't always follow our guidance, right? Sometimes our mind and our thoughts take over, which is what I call the ego. But basically what happens is, the ego is the part of you that always thinks it knows better, but your intuition will always guide you. So perhaps it might be in a certain area right now that you're not following 100% your intuition, where maybe you have a doubt. So your ego, the false self of you, which is not your true self, which is your authentic self, which is your spirit, basically, will always give you reasons as to why you can't do something, you shouldn't do something. So, and we all have the little voice. We're not good enough, we can't, we shouldn't. So this is the little voice that perhaps sometimes that comes up. So you've got to take it like a hammer. What do you call those little things the game was saying? Just pop it down. Again, it's a thought that comes in. But those thoughts come from the ego base. So what it's telling you is, so when you follow and honor your true self and you follow your intuition, you're prosperous and you do have good guidance. So follow it. But there are times that some confusion comes up and indecisiveness. And when that comes, you have to basically go back and follow your intuition to get the right answer. So it kind of ties itself all together.
And get some expert advice is what you're saying.
Yeah, through yourself. You're the expert. Your authentic self knows better than any expert you will hire. But most of the people don't connect with themselves, right? That's why my book is excellent, because it's all about connecting with yourself. Now, one more that I have here is patience that came up for you. And it's telling you, now's the time, and again, to learn, study, and gather information. It goes back to that. So your doctrine that you're saying, it's definitely in the cards and you need to take to do it. So have some patience, because it says, enjoy being the student, because in the future, you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So the studies that you're doing now are gonna bring you to where you wanna go. So right now, be patient. Don't get ahead of yourself. I know there's probably dreams that you have and where you wanna go with this. But right now, just recognize all you need to do, the way we manifest, the way we bring things into our lives, is just have the vision. So, and I tell you, and I'll give this tool and this message also to the listeners, the way you bring what you want in your life is to start from the end and allow it to follow you. What do I mean by that? Look at the tulips, for example. Look at the daffodils. They just grow, right? They grow up from the ground and they grow. And not once did they say, oh my God, how am I gonna get sun? How am I gonna get rain? The universe will always provide for them. The rain will come, the sunshine will come, and they grow. This is how we have to be in order to manifest and to bloom into beautiful flowers, or just for our life to bloom prosperous and loving. Have a vision, and Einstein even said, imagination is everything. It's more important than knowledge, he said. You don't have to know how you're gonna get there. So I urge you and the listeners, have a vision, what you want, what your life looks like at the best scenario. And then hold that vision and know that it's going to happen no matter what. You don't have to have all the details. Just believe that it will. And then at each moment, take the small steps necessary that you're guided through your intuition, which is all the cards, that's what they're kind of telling you. Guided through your intuition, what your next step will be. And then you don't have to worry about what the third step will be. The third step will come to you once you do the second step. Okay. So on and so on.
Okay, Maria, fantastic, really quite interesting. But those were just cards that fell on the floor. How do I know?
Yes.
How do I know they're meant for me?
Why do you believe they're not meant for you? Why? So basically, I'll explain to that. How do you know they're meant for you? They could be meant for anybody, really. But right now, I was talking to you. I'm a firm believer that the universe, we're all connected with the universe and everything. And with my experience, usually when I do a reading for someone, it becomes more personal. Right now, I'm making it more vague for you, but it could become more personal, and that's not what I'm going to do for this basis. And I know, because I could find out things for people that I have no idea, for total strangers, and I'm just saying stuff, and they're like, "Oh my God, don't tell anybody," or "Oh my," I got to see that they're like totally, this girl, and it's not because of
You think I should have confidence that these cards were meant for me, and that your intuition and the reading of the cards is specific for me. So now you were going to do a couple of cards for the listeners.
Yes. And again, it's about taking the positivity, right? And I always say, you're always the manifester. You're actually building your life with what you're thinking. So if there's something that somebody tells you that you're deep inside, you don't agree with, reject it. I'm not saying to believe everything everybody says. But when it's positive based, and it's based in love and peace, then take that, because our birthright is to have love, peace, and happiness. So take that. If it's something that's going to cause you distress, don't take it. But this to you is very positive. It's all about following your intuition, and this is true for anyone, right? And you know that, right? If you follow your intuition, you're always, basically, things happen positively. Okay, so now for the listeners, how many cards should I take, Brian? Should I take 1 or 3?
We've got 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, so let me take 1 here, and then we could, let me take 1, because it's, I'll take the one that just fell, okay? Because that one just actually literally fell out. And it says life review. And it's very becoming, actually, and that's what usually happens when I pull a card. It's usually what I've talked about. And this is exactly what we were just talking about. And it's funny that this card fell. It says, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. See how that works? How the universe just pops out exactly kind of the topic we're talking about. So for the listeners right now, the universe is telling them, review your life right now. This is the time, during the pandemic, during these trying times, review your life. Take inventory of your life. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is not balanced. This is the time to do it. You have the time to do it, whether it's to pick up a good book, something that will help you grow and learn. This is the time to do it. Take the opportunity, and part of your cards were like that too. Learn, grow, connect with yourself. And of course, I have the book which is Connect with Yourself and Others, which is based primarily on that. And here it is. Yeah, it's Connect with Yourself and Others, as it's primarily on that. It's all about connecting with yourself, And your thoughts. I talk a lot about controlling your thoughts and how to control your thoughts. And I give a lot of tools in how to do this. So I recommend to read my book. And if you if you have Apple Books or Kindle and you don't want to buy it, just go and download 40 pages free and try it out. I recommend. This is the time. This is the time to kind of get in your brain, take power over it, and take control of your life, your thoughts, your happiness. Your inner world will actually then reflect your outer world. If you're happy, content, and peaceful within yourself, then your life will be part of that. My dad had a saying. He said, "You can't change the world. What once you change, you will then think the world changed, but it's not the world that changed. It's not the people that change. It's you that changes. Once you see things through different glasses, through a different point, through a different perspective, everything changes. You won't have room to feel animosity, anger, and all that stuff once you have love and peace from within. Because what we have within, whether people recognize it or not, or are capable of understanding it, what we have within is what comes out. Because if you take a lemon, if you squeeze it, what will come out, Brian? What kind of juice will you get?
Lemon juice.
There's no way you're going to get apple juice, correct?
No.
So if somebody is full of anger, hate, racism, or fear, what are they going to get out? What are they going to be talking about? What are they going to exude? What vibrations will they be having? That's what they're going to be having. There's no way you could squeeze, hatred and get out love. But somebody that feels love and peace for themselves will feel it for everybody. But the people that can't feel love and peaceful thoughts for other people know without a doubt that it's because they don't have the deep love for themselves. You cannot feel something you don't have. You cannot understand something you don't have. And that is a fact.
I spoke last week with a relationship coach from Beirut. She said, before you can love others, you have to love yourself. Do you agree with that?
Exactly. And that's the biggest tool. That's the biggest, loving yourself, believing that you're enough, and believing that you're worthy. If you don't have that, there's no way you could give that to anybody else. It's impossible. I mean, if you have never tasted a banana and I'm trying to explain to you what a banana tastes like, there's no way you could explain it, right? So if you don't feel it at a deep level for yourself, you might say, oh, I love this person or that, but it's more than just saying it. It's feeling it on a deep subconscious level. And our thoughts are important to change, but recognize that our thoughts and our behaviors, 90 to 95% of them are based on our insecurities, come out from our subconscious. And this has been proven. Studies show this. Only 5 to 10% is actually our conscious mind. So it's important this is another topic I talk about in my book, I bring it up, but that's why it's important to tap into your insecurities, to tap into, of course, it's subconscious. You don't know where it's there, but once you ask the right questions, and I do give guidelines in my book how to do that, once you ask the right questions to yourself, you're able to tap into your subconscious and find out, why is it that I don't love myself so much? Why is it? And you don't even have to answer that question. What you have to answer is, why is it that I feel like this about Brian or about Maria or about so-and-so? Ask that question and then follow the tools. Take a deep breath, go within yourself, and allow your authentic self to get the true answer. Not the answer that you're saying to people, the answer that's the real answer. And that's where the healing starts. That's where the self-love, that's where your journey starts, with a connection with yourself. Once you connect with yourself at a deep level, at a subconscious level, then you will live with love. And then love is, it's not just a word, it's a noun, it's a verb, it's who you become, it's what you do, but it's who you are. We're powerful, energetic love beings. Our love energy, that's what we are, pure love energy. Anything else is an illusion. All the fear is an illusion. In real life, we're always safe, and our birthright, everybody's birthright that's listening to us right now, everybody's birthright is to be happy, to be peaceful, and to have a good life, to have a happy life. So I urge everybody, claim that birthright. Claim it.
Claim your birthright. Be happy.
Claim your birthright of happiness and peace from the inside out. Because you can't have it on the outside if you don't have it from the inside. It's important to feel it in the inside first for yourself, and then everything automatically just falls into place. Once you align with yourself, your whole world aligns.
Maria Fudas, transformational life coach, author, speaker. Thank you very much. Wonderful. If people want to grab your book or consult with you, how do they follow you on social media or connect with you?
So I'm on pretty much all the platforms. On Facebook, you can find me Maria Fudas Coach, and it's Fudas F like in Frank UDAS. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. I have a platform. Also, you could buy my book. It's Connect with Yourself and Others, or you could put my name in there, Maria Fudas. Of course, it's on Apple Books, on any kind of ebooks if you want to buy it. But it's also on Amazon, Chapters, anywhere you can buy books. Basically, you could find it on paperback or on my website as well. I urge you to go on there, take a look. My website is mariafudas.com or also mftransformation.com. And also on there, I do have a visualization that's totally free on relationships, how to envision. It's a guided visualization because, like I said earlier, it's all about seeing it first, seeing it, believing it, having that imagination. And I help guide you through that imagination because most often, a lot of times, people have a difficulty doing it on their own. So I urge you to go on there, download it. It's for free, and take a look. And if you want to purchase my book, fine. Otherwise, if you have an ebook, I invite you to go and download the free pages and take a look and let me know what you think.
Excellent.
On the platforms, the last thing, I apologize. I was going to say, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out through my website, but through social media. Send me a message and I'll be happy to connect with all of you.
We're going to take a quick message and come back with some concluding comments. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, where we're chatting with Maria Fudas, transformational life coach. We're just about done. We've had a great description of how to look positively at the pandemic, how to control our thoughts. We've talked about reading cards, and she's had a bunch of suggestions for me and for you. And just in this last few minutes, Maria's going to do a visualization for us, a visualization about gratitude.
Okay, so thank you. So everybody, I just want you to minimize your distractions. And if you can, just close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths in. Inhale in your power and exhale any stress or worries you may have at this moment as you slowly bring your attention and focus to your breath and to the sound of my voice. As you keep breathing, put your attention on how your body feels right now. Relax your shoulders, all your muscles, including your jawline. Loosen your body and relax. Sink comfortably into your chair. Now proceed inward and pay attention to what your emotional state is. Are you feeling happy or sad? Are you feeling angry, anxious, irritated, stressed, happy, excited, relaxed, or feeling peaceful? Take a moment right now to tune into your true feelings in your body. How does your body feel? Achy, comfortable, peaceful? Recognize that you should always be peaceful. Now take one more deep breath and consciously inhale the energy of the powerful creator that you are, and exhale any negative feelings or thoughts that you may be having. As you exhale, also release any stress, pain that you may be feeling or residing in your body. Next, I want you to consciously think and focus on things that you are grateful for. It can be only one thing if you choose to, or it can be several. Perhaps you are grateful for your friends, your family, children, your health, your work, your home, your heat, your roof over your head, air conditioning, safety, or perhaps it could just be the air that you're breathing. Or you can go more vague as the grateful for running water and oxygen and the fresh air you're breathing every day. Recognize that there is always something you can be grateful for. I want you to find it and focus on it with feelings of gratitude. Do that right now. Focus with feelings of gratitude. Now, as you open your eyes, if they're not already open, I want you to scan the room. If you can look outside, you can look outside as well. And I want you to be grateful for the smells and the sounds that you hear all around you, for the energy around you. Be grateful for the clean, fresh air you're able to feel and breathe right now. Breathe it in and be grateful for it. Be grateful for the oxygen you breathe. Breathe it in. Be grateful for your surroundings, even for this amazing interview that we're having with Brian. Be grateful. Feel the gratitude. Feel it in. Take a deep breath in. Inhale all the gratitude. Hold it. Feel it. And then exhale anything that you're worried or fear or anxiety about before. Take another deep breath in. Now as you inhale your power and everything you have to be grateful for. As you exhale your negative feelings, thoughts that may still be residing in your mind and in your body. Take another breath in of calmness and of peace. You can now finish this exercise by affirming to yourself. You could do it silently or out loud. And you could say, I am happy and love. I am a powerful creator. And if you find yourself shifting back into a negative mindset throughout the day, go back and focus on the things that you are grateful for, the things that you just focused on right now. And focus on those and bring yourself back into the gratitude and release any of those negative thoughts that you have in your head.
And Maria, I'm grateful for this interview and for the time you spent with us. Thank you so much.